What's up, dudes? Kubla Khan here. Welcome back to Far Cry 4. So, today, I am filming on June 27th. Yeah, the reason I'm bringing that up is because it's kind of related to... I feel like I'm so much taller. Oh, my chair is higher up. That's why. I'll just scoot back a little bit and be good. I'm bringing it up because I have, yesterday, June 26th, we had the ruling that officially said that it doesn't matter if you're gay or whatnot, you can get yourself married. And it is illegal for institutions to keep that from you. So, I personally am pro-gay marriage. I'm like, what, you guys, I always liked the joke that's like, gay people should just be as unhappy as the rest of us. I always thought that was really funny. Though honestly, I always felt that it made a bit of a problem by saying rest of us. We're all the same. Doesn't matter what you like or what you don't like or how that works. Pretty much all the same type of people. But anyway, I wanted to bring it up because of something that I think is very, very fascinating to me, which is so I'm sure all you have this too. You have those like actual friends, not people you're just like, oh, I don't like anymore because they disagree with me, but actual friends in real life, on Facebook, whatever. Where's the thing coming from? The thirst of young has become my first. It seems impossible to quench. I thought one time would be good enough. Perfect nonsense. The craving is here. Craving remains. I need eyes. Eyes of those who take drugs are best. They are turned off. But when junkies realize they're dying just before the end, the glow is here again. I turn eyes on. I give back life and take it away. This is what I do. Glowing eyes are beautiful. I need them. Man, these masks are cray-cray. Oh, there it is. Hup. Hup. There we go. So... anyway, I'm sure you have those, either a friend or that set of friends who are, they're good people, but they may disagree with you on something. Here, we're going to go to the airport, because holy crap, there's an airport. Maybe they have more, like, planes and stuff, too. Oh, God. Alright, here we go. But, and it's like one of those things where it's really interesting, because it's something, let's say, like, man, this music is loud for this conversation. It's something where... let's say, for example, well, let's go to the gay marriage. So I have some friends of mine who I'm close to who are anti-gay marriage. I was going to say anti-marriage, but who don't believe, but they don't believe in it that it's bad to be gay or something like that. They, however, just think it's bad to, they disagree with the whole marriage portion of, being gay. And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, so... they're my friends. They know that I personally, don't necessarily have anything for or against it. And let me explain the reason why. I'm agnostic. I don't really care about religion. So I think that people should, if it's an equal legal right, it should be treated as such. And so when I say that, that's like, let's say marriage is a religious institution. When it's defined as such, would mean that, sorry, I'm getting off topic, but I want to talk about it. When it's defined as a religious institution, that means it's religious doctrine that must make the decision on what is viable or not viable for it. In the same way that, like, you should, let's say, if it says don't eat pork or something like that, it doesn't necessarily need a federal law, but it's your religious doctrine that decides that. And there's plenty of people who, don't care. Nice, I love this. If you eat pork or not, who live side by side, and that's and that actually brings me to the first point, which is why you can have these friends who they may disagree with you on gay marriage or whatnot, but it's the equivalent of, even if they don't believe in it, they can still have friends who are gay or be connected to people who are gay. Anyway, what is going on here? Oh God, back off, back off. You know what? I'm gonna take your pelt and wear you as a hat. All right? Yeah. Uh-oh. 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 Okay. Oh, stop it! I'm busy. You stupid little animal. You done? Oh, you're not done, huh? 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 Yeah, there you go. Kick your butt. Jeez. Anyway, so, I now want to move on to something that... oh, okay. Wow! Gates open! Oh, there. It's easy to get in the airport. Oh, whoa! They have a ramped runway. That's interesting. Man, landing here would be so harrowing. It's like, so typically you take off and land with the wind, right? So hold on, let's see. The wind currently is blowing 100% crosswind, which sucks for flying. So maybe that's how they're able to get through it. Hey, Piggy, they have a thing here? Alright. Break that down. Is this like, what is this? With this red, like, thing? This is interesting. It's just like a chill place. Huh. Anyway, so, oh, hey, Piggy. So when we're talking about like the various religious, I want to bring up my opinion just because it's kind of fun to talk about. So going back to that, I'm ignoring. Where the hell is shooting going on? This is ridiculous. Is that another badger? Freaking badgers. Oh, all right. You want? Come on. Come on. Come on. What do you want, huh? What? You don't like me talking about? Oh God! Friggin' birds and badgers. They don't like me talking about gay marriage. All right. Come on. Come on. Everybody's allowed love. All right. There you go. There you go. Anyway, so my opinion and what it's based off of is I was made the discussion like when I made the comments like not eating pork is a religious institution. It's something that it's not like you eat pork and thus I think the government should keep you from eating pork because that's what it says kind of thing. So now I've heard that as an argument for like why gay marriage is like, why do you care? Who cares about what they're doing? If you don't believe it's right, you just don't do it. Now, the reason why that I remember hearing some people talk about was it was called marriage. So it's like the equivalent of someone eating pork and calling themselves Jewish. Which, I happen to know people who do that. Who just, they eat pork, or, maybe they're gay and call themselves Mormon. Like, that kind of thing happens sometimes. Where it's like you go, you know what, even though the rule says no, they kind of live life a little differently to what the doctrines originally say. I don't know really. Oh wow, there's something under here. And I'm just kind of exploring this place now. Woo, sneaks! That's interesting. What's down here? There's literally like nothing going on here. I am just running around and looking at the place. That's awesome and kind of like, this place needs some more activity. I'm just gonna keep disabling these though. I wonder if there's gonna be like a mission here one day, and then all of a sudden we'll just be here and there'll be no problems. Anyway, I'm gonna go to the helicopter and we're gonna get somewhere a little bit more action. First, I'm gonna plant though. But so using those examples, it's like, all right, well, each one of those points to what I would consider a legal or a possible legal understanding of like it's okay to use the term marriage for if you're gay. Let me make sure that if I can give you the long story short, I'm arguing that gay marriage is cool. So, long story short, let's make sure we're on that. And now I'm going to continue. Ooh, there's another truck over there. Let's go get it. Come on. Come on. Hey, hey, hey. Don't run. Don't run. Oh, wow, we got two things to blow up. Alright, there's that one. Alright, and do two. Oh man, I'm having some trouble aiming here. There we go. There we go. And you. Nice. Alright, we'll circle around. Alright, so basically, what I want to talk... Wow, there goes that truck. Is I want to talk about legal precedents for government to basically talk about marriage as a government institution rather than a religious one. And the one where I would go into, in very specifically, is where in the night, let's say, I don't know, let's go back 70, 80 years. You're black, you want to marry someone who's white. Or you're white, you want to marry someone who's black, right? Now, if this was a church that was racist kind of thing, that felt that way, they would turn you away from being married in their church. Now, so we knew about that. We would call that racist. However, a religion is a private institution in a way. So it's like, why, so are they allowed to do that? Well, this is where the marriage thing started coming into place, which is that you could go down to a government office and you could pick up a marriage license at a government office. Now, the government's not supposed to hand out marriage license because marriage is a religious institute. Thus, religion, government, they're not supposed to mix, right? So how can a government hand out a marriage license? Well, that's if you co-opt the name to describe a civil union. That makes sense. And in that case, it becomes a scenario where suddenly it's in the government's rights to start ruling on what a religion should do because they've co-opted that name. Now, if you were a religion and you were disappointed with this outcome, you could say, God does not recognize your marriage. And that is pretty much what's been going on in the first place anyway. God does not recognize your right to eat pork. God doesn't recognize your right to being with a man or a woman or five, or doing it before, having sex before marriage, or having safe sex, or there are some, depictions of in the Bible that talk about, the Catholic Bible, I was raised Catholic, that depicts discussions about how, hey, you okay? Yes, I know, it's scary in the bell room. But that whoa, there's another person I didn't even notice, that depicts stories about, and here, this is an adult show, so I don't necessarily mind talking about this, but they'll be like, it is better for your seed to fall into the belly of a whore than it is for your seed to fall upon the ground, i.e., don't jerk it. Which is fascinating because, wow, I'm amazed I didn't just die. Which is fascinating to me because I think that there would be a million people out there who would argue against that statement. Very many religious people would be like, no, I think it's better for a young man to experiment with himself than it is for him to find a woman and pay her to have sex with him. But that's just me. But a lot of people would make that argument. I would say religious individuals too. So, but that's an example of something where it's like, that's kind of normal to be ignored. People kind of ignore that. Like, even if you're not an ample practicer of the masturbating arts, you would still argue that it's probably better to do it to yourself alone to discover oneself. Ignore lust, ignore all of that. Imagine being like a married man or woman, kind of thing, and your person's not there, and you want a little fun, Man, I love doing this as I'm climbing a tower. It's just such a ridiculous combination of things. But where do I climb next? Actually, I'm a little lost. I'm getting oh, here we go. Dude boxes. So we kind of have that discussion. Now, the reason I'm bringing that up again is because I wanted to go once when I basically talked about the precedence of governments being allowed to talk about gay marriage and change the name, is because of the whole thing that they actually hand out marriage license, not civil union licenses. Yeah. And so if you were in a position where, it's like, okay, well, if we call it this, then we're going to use that word. And then a religion can just the same way ignore, what is being done, in the same way that they ignore all these other rules anyway. It becomes in a situation where it's like, everybody I think I've made my point. I'm getting a little stuck up because I'm doing this. Oh man, but yeah, it's just this idea. Man, it's so loud. But it's just that idea that we have a government institution that's not a religious institution. It started as religious, marriage, but it became government when they started using the word in government law and the like. So if you're a church and you don't believe, oh my God, like I got eaten by a alligator. If you're part of a religion and church that doesn't believe that marriage and gay should go together, it's the same way as that someone is Jewish and their friends eat pork, or that whole masturbating discussion I just did. It's just exactly like that. And so I guess I was trying to figure, kind of started from my original point too of the whole, if your friends don't believe in this thing, but they still love the people behind it, you know, like if your Mormon friend still is your buddy even though you gamble or drink, or your Baptist friend or whatever, you know, same reasons. That's the kind of same way I call everybody to look at their like religious friends when if they are anti-gay marriage. If they are, there's plenty of religions out there who are like, oh yeah, like Jesus said, love everybody. Like, then you know, if you're part of the, you know, like Protestant Catholicism kind of thing, there you get, like a lot of people will say that too. But anyway, it's just and it's an opinion that I was thinking about because I had seen my friend had this little bit of tirade, a little bit about like supporting sin kind of thing, and it was one of these things where it's like this person has gay friends, which I really wonder what kind of strain would exist in the life of that individual because of that. But you know, I couldn't imagine actually, you know, being told that I didn't have a right, and that my friend was okay with me not having that right, and was angry when I got that right. Personally, I'd have a hard time dealing with that, but I don't have to deal with that. So, you know, I'm a straight male, so it's just not as, you know, I don't conflict with her in that, except that I do gamble, and except that I do drink. Not a lot of either, but I also believe in sex before marriage. I also, you know, a lot of things like that. But, you know, I guess what I'm bringing up is in this day and age of, as we're starting to see some fantastic changes to the law, remember that the very people that who like, some, you know, were against it, don't necessarily immediately deserve some of the anger or disgust that sometimes people will want to provide them. Not saying that they're all you know, free of excuse and that kind of thing, but I mean, actually, they deserve excuse. Not whatever. It's just an idea that I kind of wanted to bring up. So anyway, there's my little soapbox moment. If you liked what you saw, please leave a like. If you want to see more, subscribe. And of course, may the ground rise to meet your feet. May the wind always be at your back. And may the sunshine warm in your 66 face. Dudes, thank you so much for watching. It's always a lot of fun to see you. See you later. Bye.